Testing, testing. Okay. So I'm testing because I can't hear myself. The stupid Blue Yeti mic isn't working. It's done this before. I'll hook it up to my phone, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. I thought it worked best when my battery is pretty much full, but I'm at 93% and it's still not picking it up. Which is fine. I've actually never been let down by my wireless microphones. As expensive as this piece of shit is, you would think it would work. And it does, but, when it feels like it, which is not really the same. All right. Today's episode. Oh, wait. Good evening. Uh, it's evening for me. Um, You're listening to The Brave Traveler. I'm your host, IR, which apparently means Imperator, Imperator Rex. I think I'm saying it right. King of Self. Nice. Today's episode is about a bunch of movies that uh, I binge watched. I just wanted to see some stuff, see if I'm right that movies are shit now. And of course, I am right. Movies are shit. They're not really worth watching. But every once in a while, you can see something that was at least done well, even if it's full of bullshit messages and propaganda. I don't know why, but I'm thinking I should be able to do this and play a video game at the same time. So, not that I have to, but farming for points takes forever in From Souls games. And I'm on the final skill for Sekiro. I only need 5 more skill points, except each one of those is about 70,000 points that I need to accumulate in order to acquire one skill point. So I need 5. And then I'll have all of them. Although, not being able to hear myself and do that, I don't think I don't think that would work out. I think I would do one or the other very shitty. Now, I don't think it would be the Sekiro because it's just repeating the same action over and over again. You know, I spawn into the level, I kill the villain, I sit back down and reset the level, I kill the villain, and over. It's so much fun. Well, I started doing this, watching this list of movies about, I don't know, early this month, I guess. Most of them I saw in big chunks, or I would see like a group of movies and then later on some more. So, first on the list, and I'm not even sure that I saw them in this order, I probably didn't. If I would have written them in the order that I saw them, it would have probably been 1938 when the oil was ours. A movie that I'm sure most people in the US have never even heard about. It's about President, Mexican President Lázaro Cárdenas um, trying to negotiate deals for the oil, the petrol, the country's natural resource, and then deciding against partnering up with the evil white man. And instead, deciding that the country was just going to do it for themselves, and created the gas company. Fuck, what is that called? Bemex? I think that's what it's called. I can't remember. And and for a while the country had money. Mexico wasn't a third world country. They had money, and fast forward to today and it's a third world country, so what the fuck happened? So I actually did the research because the stupid movie um made it seem like they were going to explain it, show it and explain what went wrong. Of course, it copped out. It pretty much just sort of showed you just enough to fill up the time slot of a movie, of a short movie, by the way. You had some random characters with some stupid plot lines that didn't matter at all. Um, the guy playing the president was stuffing his cheeks with cotton balls, kind of like Marlon Brando in The Godfather, and it was just really obvious. I mean, actually, Marlon Brando made it look more natural than this fucking guy. It was kind of laughable. The acting was poorly done. It was kind of pathetic. It felt like a D movie. There was one lady that acted very well. She really felt out of place. And of course, she's playing a feminist, which I think back in that time, that would not be normal. This is like the 1930s, of course. So I don't think there was a lot of feminists. I don't think that that kind of thinking was common. And she straight up has lines in the movie where she's saying like women can do everything better than men, which okay, yeah, like I wonder why they don't build houses or roads. Um, there's a giant fucking list of jobs that predominantly men tend to take and women do not. So I'm not going to get on a misogyny rant, but the movie, it had some of that shit in it where it's trying to act like we're woke too. We're dumb. um anyways, the important, what I wanted to get from the movie was to learn what happened. Mexico is still rich in oil, and yet the people earn next to nothing, to the point that they never own anything. They just get jobs so that eventually a bank can give them credit to get stuff that they still don't own because they'll have to be paying it off. I mean, they don't own anything. I know people that have a house, have a car, but it's not theirs. And they're more than likely not going to finish paying it off until they're old. Um, and if anything happens, they'll never pay it off. And everything that they worked for was for nothing because the bank will take it because it belongs to the bank because of usury debt. So, why are things like that in Mexico? Why aren't they like Chile, like in the country of Chile or Argentina, where just by being a citizen of Chile or Argentina, you're allowed into the United States. You don't need a special visa or a special passport. You're just come on in. But Mexico, the neighbor country, that you do. You need a visa. You need to prove that you have a job and an address that you've been at for a while in order for them to trust that you're just going to come into the country with permission to spend your money and then you'll leave because you have a home and bills to pay and you have a job to get to. That's the only way. Um, it's not enough that, why the fuck not? We're just a few minutes walking distance away from each other. Why not? Oh, well, you need to you need to, um, there's requirements that you need to fulfill, right? But not Chile or Argentina because I don't know. So the research I did um, gave me the dumbest story I've ever heard. And no wonder they keep it under wraps because I think that a lot of people would kind of see right through it. It pretty much said that, and this happens after the movie, so it's not in the movie. Is the movie worth watching? Not really. I mean, if you have some Mexican family that, you want to just watch a movie for the sake of watching a movie, it's not terrible. It's not bad. You're not really going to get much out of it except that oh, that's true. Women are better than men at everything. And oh, so that's what the president was like? Wow, he was so stoic, which I don't think is accurate. Um oh, and in the credits it said that a bunch of people raised money for this movie. Man, I would have felt so fucking cheated. I'm like, they didn't even get to the most important part. This is bullshit. Anyways, so my research uh, tells me that after Lázaro Cárdenas decided that they were going to keep the oil and turn it into gasoline themselves, they hit a speed bump and realized that they kind of didn't have enough of the whatever the fuck they needed to turn the oil into gasoline. And they kind of didn't have the space either to do it in. And so while they were turning oil into gasoline, they couldn't do it fast enough. So they were still having to outsource gasoline, purchase gasoline from other countries like the United States. And so they they're in debt. They got into debt, and the rest is history. They've never been able to get themselves out of debt because even though they're rich in oil, they're stupid as fuck. I don't actually believe that, but necessarily I don't not necessarily entirely not believe that because, well, I'm being harsh. Like I said, they don't have this story, and they got used to it. I don't exactly know when it was that things started changing. From what I've heard from my parents, even in the 70s, it wasn't that bad. Shit was pretty normal. It didn't feel like a third world country being run by gangs. They call them the narcos, which is it's just painfully obvious that they are sanctioned by the government. I mean, anyone with half a brain, if you just look into it a little bit, you're going to be like, how is this possible? And you're going to realize how it's obviously possible that they can threaten entire cities, like nobody go out this day, and yeah, nobody will go out. The military won't do anything. The government won't do anything. I mean, I've driven across country in the United States, slept in my car, slept at rest stops or Walmart parking lots. No problem. No problem at all. It was awesome. I loved it. I've only done that once, and I'm really glad I did. I would love to do that um, in Mexico, but I can't because there's certain parts of the country that are perfectly safe, well, relatively speaking. And then there's other parts of the country where you'll be kidnapped, you'll be robbed, someone will have to pay for your release, or they'll kill you, or they'll just kill you anyways. Oh, but these people have morals and ethics. If they say they won't, they won't, because they want people to feel confident that if they pay, you'll go free. So yes, it wouldn't benefit them to kill you, but maybe they won't ransom you. Maybe they'll just, you know, do the old organ harvesting. Um, yeah, it's fucked up. I've seen documentaries on these tiny, out of the way villages in the middle of nowhere in Mexico where they just start making crystal meth so they can sell it. And the guy recording them is like asking them questions like, how'd you learn to do this? And the guy making the drugs has his face covered up, and he's like, the Templars. So the Templars are bad guys, but they weren't always bad guys. They used to be the Knights of Solomon, the Templars. And I think it was the Black Friday massacre where they got killed by uh well, it may have been a group that we're not allowed to criticize. And there's not that many groups that we're not allowed to criticize or say anything about, because if you do, YouTube will strike you, ban you, whatever. And one of the other possible groups it could have been, which I think it was, will actually come after you and kill you. So yeah, but they created their deity Baphomet, which in my opinion isn't a deity at all, because it's a dead thing that they just sort of manipulated to look like something else. It's crazy because it's a bunch of dead parts put together. But I've heard, I've done the research on what Baphomet actually means, where the name comes from, and it's it all points a big finger arrow right at those people that you can't say anything about, because ever since ever since, what was it, 24 years ago? Everybody's like, oh, yeah, they're like that. Even South Park wasn't able to fucking say anything about them in that one episode that got bleeped. It's the old, if you can't beat them, join them tactic, except I'm pretty sure that the rest of that phrase or sentence would be, and then destroy them from the inside. So it's a war tactic straight out of The Art of War. You join them, you pretend to be one of them. Now that you're in, you can destroy them from the inside. That's like the biggest tactic I see them using over and over again that really works. And that's kind of why you really have to question everything. People pretend to be one way when they're not. There's an old expression in Spanish, um, caras vemos, pero corazones no conocemos, which is faces you see, but hearts you don't. Anyways, so the story of 1938 and how we're rich. Mexico is rich with oil, but darn it, just doesn't have the technology or the space to do what other countries do with oil. And that's why Mexico is poor. That's stupid. If that were the real reason, and the people in charge of Mexico actually wanted to fix that problem, all they would have to do to lower the debt and get rid of it would be to modify the way people live in Mexico and just sort of say, like, we're going to make less streets and more areas for people to walk on or use a bike. We're going to come up with only certain hours of the day that people can drive at only certain low speeds. The majority of people will have to start using a bus. They should start building subways, metros all over the place instead of just in Mexico City, which is the only place in Mexico that has a frickin' subway. Subways should be all over the place. When I went to Europe and I was in like 11 different countries, they had a subway everywhere. So everyone was thin, healthy, and it just motivates you to walk everywhere because it's so easy. I mean, besides, I was there to get to know the area, so I wanted to walk. I would have hated to have been driving everywhere. And that would make a big change in Mexico, not needing to constantly have um, gasoline. And people could do it. I know they could because they do that in Europe, and there's no reason why they couldn't do it in Mexico. It would solve the problem. So if I can come up with that solution just like that right off the top of my head, and maybe there's even better ones. But my point is there are solutions, and they're not even trying to get out of debt. You trying to tell me that in the last, what the fuck is it, like 80 fucking years, you couldn't come up with how to make gasoline or whatever technology you needed that apparently only other countries had? so that you could make that amount of gasoline. And what the fuck is this? We don't have the space for that. There is so much motherfucking desert in Mexico. And maybe you don't know that if you've never been to Mexico, but there is. There's a ton of empty spaces, and you want to, and they want the people to believe that, oh, okay. Man, come on, you really have to think about this shit. It's just such a stupid story. Lame and dumb, but it makes sense why it's hidden. And if you get any kind of explanation, it won't make sense, because if you get the entire explanation, you're going to see that, oh, this doesn't make sense either. It's a lie. That's why. The truth makes sense. What's the truth? The people in charge don't give a fuck about Mexicans. They're not trying to give them a better life. They're trying to just give them a good enough life so that they continue to work their asses off 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for pennies. And this benefits a lot of rich people. It benefits business owners because they don't have to pay their workers that much at all. So it is very possible to become rich in Mexico easily because of the fact that you don't have to pay your employees that much. You pay them a week what a minimum wage worker earns in the United States in a day. Yeah, that's not that much at all. So yeah, if you have your own business, whatever that might be, you can get rich in Mexico. But even if you're a fucking doctor, you have a medical degree, you're gonna be poor if you're somebody's employee. From what I've checked, they earn about, the most anybody earns in Mexico as an employee is about 30,000 a year, which is not a lot. Because that's the formula for a good life in Mexico. You know, you're just going to be a fucking worker, a worker bee, and you'll have everything on credit. That's it. And if you want to get out of that rat race, which is a horrible rat race in Mexico, then you have to be your own boss. That's it. That's the formula. Um, it's fucked up, but yeah, I don't know how to fix the problem since it's the entire system. It belongs to the bad guys pretty much. But I guess a step in the right direction would be to at least know the truth of how it is and why it's that way, because apparently a big chunk of the richest people in the world live in Mexico, which makes sense now if you think about it. Okay, well, that's enough of that movie. It was terrible. Don't fucking watch it. Okay, so that review took me a moment, but that's because it needed to be said. Here's a quick one. I saw a Jason Statham movie called Working Man, and it's directed by David Ayer. David Ayer. I don't know how you say that. The guy that directed the first Suicide Squad movie and then that shitty Will Smith Netflix movie called Bright. Um, I liked it. It was fun. It was just about a guy that knew how to kick ass, and he had to save a kidnapped woman, and he did. And it was fun. It's written by Sylvester Stallone, so that was kind of cool. And I think he was also one of the producers. I'm not sure if he was a co-director. I can't remember that. Um, so it's not a movie that you'll really get anything from, but it's entertaining. And I'm a fan of Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham, so I think it's worth watching just for fun. Mel Gibson put out a movie called Flight Risk, and it's really good. Mark Wahlberg plays a villain, which I don't think he had done since that one movie with Reese Witherspoon. I think it was called Fear. I think ever since, what was that thing called? He played like a good boyfriend slash hitman. The Big Something. It was with La Bamba, Lou Diamond Phillips, who was the villain in that movie. That was a cool movie. Was it called The Big Hit? I can't remember. Should look it up. Um, Flight Risk is about that one guy from that '70s show. I can't remember his name. And he's a witness to some important crime, and he's being escorted back into the U.S. because he was like running, I guess. And I don't want to give anything away. It's actually really worth watching. Of course, everything Mel Gibson does is fucking amazing ever since Braveheart. And I think his last movie was Heartbreak Ridge. Is that the hell it was called? The one with Andrew Garfield. That one was an amazing movie. Just the commercial will make you cry. um, and then I saw a shitty but entertaining satanic movie in 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 disguise of a romantic comedy. It was called Anyone But You. The story of two good-looking people who date each other for a while, don't have sex apparently, which is a nice change, of course. Um, but then they overhear each other or they misunderstand something. She walks out because she gets the jitters that, oh, I think I'm falling in love. And then she walks back, but she hears him mouthing off to his friend about how he never cared about that woman. Um, so they don't speak again. But then apparently they live in a very small town, New York City or some shit. And they have friends in common that are getting married. So they're forced to be around each other on vacation because some guy's sister is marrying another guy's sister, and that's such a holy union, right? No one even says anything about, hey, I didn't know, your sister was lesbian. Nothing, nothing. And that's how you know it's propaganda and not reality. The entire thing is bullshit propaganda. Oh, and they all have a magical black friend who always knows what to say. And so it's full of bullshit, this movie. Um, watch it if you want to laugh, but if you know the truth about anything, it's also really fucking cringy. Um, honestly, don't watch that one. Watch the Jason Statham movie Working Man, and even that one's just for fun. So far, the only movie I'm actually going to recommend is Flight Risk. Anyone But You is fucking stupid. Watch the commercial. You're going to think, whoa, that looks funny. Start to watch it, and I promise you, you're going to see how demonic this fucking thing really is. Um, I saw The Brutalist. I think that thing was like 3 hours. It was filmed incredibly, acted amazingly. It's a good story. It is a sympathy for Jewish people and how amazing they are, and how people take advantage of them for being so incredible. It's a love letter to Jewish people, pretty much. It does say that that one rich family, the Vanderbilts or something, that they are scummy. Apparently, the Vanderbilt estates um, are Jewish because they turned Jewish. I don't know why. They didn't say why. But they did say that Vanderbilt was closeted homosexual. He, maybe I shouldn't give it away. There is a rape scene. Man, a Vanderbilt raping another man. Um, yeah, that checks out, I guess. I've always kind of thought that to myself, especially the Talmudic Orthodox ones that have to go through the whole mole hole, some old man sucking you off before you even know anything. So the infant has no idea, the ones that survive. But later on, when they get old enough to know that, oh, that happened, I wonder what goes through their minds, because most people don't want to feel like shit. And I don't know if they ever do, because in their group, it's normal, right? That happens to all of them. So I wonder if it's so normal that, yeah, goes in that direction. Like, yeah, well, I was too young to have enjoyed it. God, it's so fucked. It's just Satanism. That's all that shit is. The Brutalist is a good movie. It's well acted. It's interesting. It's a good story. It does have the typical Hollywood tropes of Jewish people are amazing, and only the only kind of person that could understand a Jew, um, the only kind of non-Jew that could understand a Jew would be black people. So, of course, throughout this movie, you'll see that the main character, played by Adrian Brody, is a black man and his son. Um, but the movie's done really well. Is it all factual? No, absolutely not. It can't be. Not unless, these people had a fucking magical stenographer hanging out. It's fiction. It might be based on something that did happen, but who knows how much of the truth was altered. And then I saw The Monkey. What a disappointment, man. I saw this piece of shit movie because I'm a fan of Stephen King. I like his books, and the movies based on his books in the past had been very well made. Like, it was a certain quality to Stephen King adaptations that just always made me want to see the next Stephen King movie. whether it was The Shining, Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, Needful Things, the first adaptation of The Stand, Pet Cemetery, It, the original. The remake, yeah, it was pretty good too. I liked it. So he's got a ton of amazing, amazing movies that were, you know, attributed to him. So when the monkey came out, I see this disgusting looking, shitty monkey toy being pushed as the next Stephen King movie. It didn't motivate me to want to watch it. So it was a while that I could have seen it already, but it just didn't attract me at all. But then they're also like, hey, the guy from that's responsible for the Saw movies and the Conjuring and yada yada. He made it. Oh, you got two horror people. Well, all I can say is that more horror people doesn't necessarily make it any better. In fact, it made it worse. Now, I know that neither of them was actually like um geez, I want to say that they weren't producers, but maybe they were. I saw a quick little clip of the guy that was directing it. He was like on a red carpet being asked some questions, and he seemed like such a douchebag. And it does, if you watch this movie and you get to see that red carpet clip of the guy that directed The Monkey, you'll kind of understand why it's such a stupid piece of shit movie. It's nihilistic. It's completely nihilistic. Like 100% of the murders, of the horrible, atrocious murders in this movie, they're not handled in a realistic, appropriate way. They're handled in a cartoonish, almost comedic manner. That, I mean, what's the message there? Death is funny, it's entertaining. Oh, look how cool! A bunch of guts. So I'm not opposed to gore. I'm opposed to it being handled in such a manner. It was stupid. If you're a horror fan, watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you're not, don't waste your time. This is just mental poison. It's fucking diarrhea for the soul. It's garbage. It really is. And I've been staring at the cast of that movie, and apparently Elijah Wood was in it, but I don't remember even seeing him in it at all. It's just such a fucking dumb movie. It's about a demon monkey toy, and if you if you wind its crank, it'll kill someone. That's it. Brilliant. There's no why. It's I wouldn't recommend anybody watch this movie. It was total trash. I'm glad I didn't pay to watch it. Heretic. That is another movie that I wouldn't recommend. I mean, it's clearly written by a Satanist that probably knows the truth about what's going on, and therefore knows how to argue that religion is dumb, because he knows that maybe a lot of people might not know what to say. I would have loved it if he would have had that argument with me because I would know what to say. Um, he's pretty much just a psychotic character that felt like kidnapping two women that have religious convictions. It does have twists in the movie, and they're not good. They're stupid. But anyways, the entire thing is actually trying to convince the audience that religion is pointless and dumb, that it's all about one thing without actually being honest and sincere. This thing was trash. It's interesting to see Hugh Grant acting like a villain because I'm pretty sure he is a villain in real life. So it came very it was second nature to the guy pretty much. Um the two young women who have a religious conviction, they're written as stupid people. Of course, one is stupider than the other one. The one that's more jaded is, of course, the smarter one. It's not a movie worth watching. Again, I'm glad I didn't pay for this movie. You might be thinking, why did you watch any of these movies if they're all shit? Well, I wanted to know if they're shit. I kind of had a feeling that they were, but oh well. I don't normally watch movies. I used to watch a lot of movies, but since movies are garbage now, since the Academy Awards is basically just satanic propaganda bullshit, this next movie I saw, Anora, it won Best Movie of the Year, which means movies are trash now. The entire movie is about a shitty whore, young Jewish woman, um, and of course it doesn't tell you directly, but it shows you that it wants you to believe that this is a good, legitimate way of earning money and having fun. And why not? So glamorous being a stripper. Um, Honora meets a guy, and he's rich, so he gets she gets paid a lot of money by him to have sex, and he's not clingy, so he's fun. She wants to hang out with him in his big mansion. Then he has enough money to say, "Hey, come out to Vegas with me for the weekend. I'll pay you whatever you want." And then randomly on the spot, "Hey, let's get married." And she's like, "Okay, yeah. Yeah, I could go for this lifestyle. Sure." But then it turns out that his family is a bunch of Russian criminals, and they don't want him to be married to the stripper. So they're gonna they're gonna make them annul the marriage. And then Honora says, "No way. That's not gonna happen. Tell him so and so, husband." And then he says, pretty much, well, not immediately, it gets stretched out. He's like, "No, it's fine. We're going to get an annulment. I do this all the time. I lie to bitches. I fuck them and have fun with them. It's normal for me. And she's super sad, super bitchy, and the movie ends with her uh, fucking one of the rich guy's um, employees, I guess, and crying. That's it. That's the entire movie. It starts off as a pretty woman and ends up being a PSA for how horrible men really are and how vulnerable and pure women are, even if they're, you know, parasite infested whores. Um, at, at the academies, and I didn't see the academies, the academy show. I'm never going to. Fuck that garbage piece of shit. Stupid, dumb, satanic cult garbage. um, I saw a clip. So she wins an Oscar for best actress or whatever, best female actor. And she's like, "I'd like to thank the sex workers." And then the asshole that directed the shit, he does the same thing. He wins an Oscar. I'd like to thank sex workers. Why? Why would you want to thank prostitutes? Why? It's so stupid. The movie is trash. Um, if you're young and you like that kind of trash because she's naked in it, yeah, it doesn't matter. She's still a piece of shit. I wouldn't recommend anybody watch it. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. Go watch Working Man. But I know that the majority of people that probably watch Anora aren't watching it um, to see quality, and they will not be disappointed because it is not quality. They're watching it to see some fuck scenes. The thing has uh, maybe like three, like three sex scenes. They're pretty graphic. It's still just a stupid piece of shit that's not worth it. Let alone to be honored. Like, oh, this is the best. No, I don't know what else was nominated. Apparently, nothing good. If Honora is going to win, so this next movie is an Apple TV Plus whatever movie called The Gorge, starring that one chick from that one thing, and then who else? Oh, that one guy that played Reed Richards in the shittiest Fantastic Four movie. The Gorge is enjoyable. I highly recommend that movie. It is very enjoyable. Um, Way more than the previous one. So let's see. So far, it's Flight Risk and The Gorge. Everything else, trash. Brutalist, it's fine. It's up to you if you want to watch it. The Gorge is a movie about two mercenaries that are hired to guard a hole in the ground. And that one dude from Whiplash, he's guarding one side of the gorge, and that one chick from Split, from Northman. What else is she in? Oh, I can't even remember. I think she's real pretty, but I'm not like an insane fan for her. She became so anorexically thin. I mean, ew. I'm sorry. I'm straight. I like women that look like women. When women start becoming so anorexic, it's like
No, man. She's real pretty in the face, but I can just imagine what she would look like. Never mind. It just can't be good when you're that thin. You lose your feminine qualities. That's fine. She's got special effects and makeup. So, anyways, they're guarding this giant hole in the ground because there's monsters in it, and they have to stand guard and make sure that nothing comes out of there. Watch a trailer, you'll see. It's good. There's only one part I didn't like, and that's when whoever the hell was in charge of picking the music for the movie picked the Ramones for like a little montage scene that was supposed to be cute between the two of them. And all of a sudden you hear the Ramones. Hey, ho, let's go. And it didn't fit the scene. It felt stupid. I actually played this movie for my parents like a month ago, I guess. And I just saw that one scene and I thought, this is so stupid. And it kept me from watching it. But when I finally did, I really enjoyed it. Oh, Sigourney Weaver's in it as well. Anna Taylor Joy, Anna Joy. What I can't remember her name, but yeah, that's who I was talking about. Okay, and two more movies that I think are shit. I did not enjoy Novocaine. I thought it was so fucking gay. I could just feel that whoever wrote it was gay, and all the extreme shit that was going on in Novocaine. I could almost hear the giggles like, yeah, and then what if he does this, and then all of a sudden this happens, and it's entertaining. um my parents saw it in Spanish and they really enjoyed it. I saw it in the theater because it was either that one or Mickey 17, and that particular night. And I just thought, no, Mickey 17 is going to be some fucking life doesn't matter type of messagey movie, watching Robert Pattinson dying all the fucking time. And it was, because I did eventually see it, and I'm glad I didn't see it in the theater. Novocaine was all right. I mean, it's the story of a guy that, for whatever reason, can't feel pain, falls in love with some hot chick. She gets kidnapped um, when there's a robbery at the bank that he works at. And I kind of get it. Like, you just had sex with this super hot chick. You don't have anything else going for your life. And now all of a sudden she's being kidnapped. So, yeah, you decide to do something about it. Um, it's fun. It's fun. It's stupid and it's fun. So it's definitely, I'm not going to recommend it, but it's going in the pile of a movie that I think almost anybody can enjoy. Mickey 17, on the other hand, is fucking garbage. It's total bullshit. I can't really like tell you every tiny little thing that I didn't like about it, but overall, they go to a different land and there's giant parasites, but they're apparently noble beasts. So stupid. Um, Mickey is repeatedly cloned and murdered for different experiment tests like poisons and studying of what happens to the body when exposed to this or that, or just random nonsense bullshit. It's just nihilism. Total fucking nihilism. It it shows you without saying it that life doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. Who cares? Life isn't special to begin with. It's all about just having fun, fucking around. There's even a scene where Mickey 17 and I guess Mickey 18, or is it 16? Um, are in bed with their girlfriend that now they're going to have a three-way. Um, the other Robert Pattinson is trying to sexually stimulate Mickey 17, which is basically himself. So it's also giving you the indirects that, hey, when you're gay, but you're also having sex with a woman, it's okay. um, yeah, it's stupid. There's even a scene at the end of the movie where the bad guys come back to life, and then it turns out to just be him dreaming. Um, and there was this feeling of what the fuck was that even for? Did they want to hit a certain quota of time and they just added this shit in there for no reason at all? It just feels pointless. It feels dumb. And if you've ever seen pictures of parasites, you know that the animals that they were showing and calling them like noble and oh they're so noble and so cute, they were literal giant parasites. So I don't know how much more satanic you can get with this fucking thing. It's entertaining, but it's also really bleak and depressing. And I don't think there's much of a reason for anybody to watch this movie. Toni Collette, I think that's her name, is in this, and I loved her in the United States of Terra and in that Hereditary movie, which was just the creepiest satanic shit ever. Um, God, I can't remember his name. He replaced Edward Norton as the Hulk. He was in Poor Things. He played the slimy asshole. Well, in this movie, he plays a slimy asshole also. He's getting good at that role. I think he's got it down. I wonder if he's not a slimy asshole in real life. No idea, but he does it perfectly. Okay, let's see. Okay, I saw in the Lost Lands, which is supposed to be from a story by George R. Martin from you know the guy. He's the guy that wrote the Game of Thrones books, the A Song of Ice and Fire, which he still hasn't finished. So fuck him for that. Um, in the Lost Lands stars Mia Jovovich and the fuck is his name? Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Dave Bautista. Yes. Um, just just as just because I'm a fan of them and George R. R. Martin, I kind of liked it, but it felt rushed. It felt like a lot of stuff really needed to be more developed. Like instead of the Brutalist being fucking 3 hours, I would have rathered a 3 hour version of In the Lost Lands. It's not bad. I just it felt like a trilogy squeezed into 1 hour and a half movie. So I'm sure the the book or whatever would be much more enjoyable. I think it would probably be beneficial to read the actual source material before watching it, but it's still an enjoyable movie. Why not? I took my daughter to see the Minecraft movie, of course. Why not? And I was so shocked that she knew everything. She was constantly telling me how, yes, this is that way, and this is this, and this takes you over here, and that's what happens when you do this. And I I've played Minecraft, but really not that much. When Minecraft first came out and I played it, I kind of I was really into story driven games because that's all I ever knew, which is not necessarily true. Mario has never been much of a story, but there was enough of a story that it kept you playing. Whereas Minecraft, it it I mean, I think there's a story there. I'm not even sure. What I've always wanted to do just to get the Minecraft experience is to just go hunt for all the trophies until I get the platinum trophy. And then I think I would get something out of that. Like, I compare it to Goat Simulator. I actually got the platinum trophy for that one, um, which is a waste. It would have been I would have been much better off getting the platinum for Minecraft. But it's on the to-do list. I have a few of those trophies. Minecraft, of course, was entertaining. It was very entertaining. I can't tell you that it's a good movie. I will say that it's on par with Working Man. It's a movie just for entertainment. You got nothing else to do and you want to have a good time, watch Minecraft. It's funny. Not like, oh my god, this is hilarious, but it's got some jokes. Movies I did not watch and I have no fucking interest in watching are going to be Captain America and Snow White. Captain America 4, um I started watching it and I lost interest almost immediately. I don't think that Disney, whoever the fuck is actually running Disney, I don't think they know how to make movies. I think that special effects make up for a lot of what they're lacking in story, which, if that were true, Marbles would have done very well. That's another movie I didn't watch because I put it on for a few minutes and I just thought, man, this is so fucking dumb. So I really don't have any fucking interest in Disney. They've uh they've successfully made me not want to watch anything they make. I don't care if a new Star Wars movie comes out. I'm not going to watch it. You know, there's like a bunch of Star Wars shows that have come out and I refuse to watch them and they look like shit. And I don't feel bad or regret not watching them. It just really feels like everything they do is trying to say fuck you to the fans, laugh in their face, and be like, and you'll like it anyways. And it's just not true. That reminds me. So yesterday when I was talking about Katy Perry's bullshit trip trip up high in the cock rocket, I didn't mention that if you look at their name tag, the logo, and you just flip it upside down, it's Baphomet. It's like, come on, assholes. So I think more and more people are just sort of realizing that they don't have to support the bullshit. I read this the other day. NASA confirms that Uranus smells like farts. Now, is that not a gay joke? Is that not a Talmudic gay joke? Absolutely. It's so fucking dumb. And well, of course, Snow White. I'm never gonna watch. Who who would actually watch that? You know what I was afraid of? I thought, even though I know nobody's gonna watch this piece of shit movie, what if the assholes like BlackRock, since they have a money making machine, that money doesn't even mean anything to them, what if they just buy a ton of fucking movie tickets just so they can claim America's #1 movie, Snow White, starring, what's that bitch's face? Zegler, something. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I mean, what if they bought a bunch of tickets just to be able to claim how successful it is and tell people? And in time, people look at it and be like, oh, I thought it was a piece of shit, but apparently it made a ton of money. And it's a lie. Just to fuck with people. Just to get the after effects, of people that didn't watch it, maybe young people that heard about it and they were curious, they didn't know, and then years later they hear like, oh, it made a ton of money, it's actually really good, and then they watch it. Like that scumbag, he was an Indian person for IGN that reviewed the movie, and this scumbag piece of shit was like, it's so good. I can't do an Indian accent. It's a very good. No, I don't know. He's lying. It's not a good movie. He complimented Rachel Zegler, said that her performance, yada yada. Fuck off. Such bullshit. Fucking liar. So they're trying to con people into watching it, which, I don't follow IGN. I don't give a fuck what IGN says about anything anymore. Just like Disney, they betrayed my trust. Go fuck yourself. Who does anybody fucking review anybody else's shit before you publish it, before you put it out there? So I don't want to hear anybody at fucking IGN saying like, well, those are his opinions. Yeah, fuck you. You approved it. You published it in your website. You said, yes, this is fine. So no, fuck IGN. IGN is a piece of shit. I don't know who owns IGN. I'd like to know. I'm pretty sure they'll be a member of what group. Oh, man. Fuck IGN. Oh, and something controversial, I guess, for some people. I don't even give a shit anymore. I swear, now that I've noticing the pattern, which is just trying to bother people, trying to look for an excuse to call somebody a racist. HBO is going to do a Harry Potter series, pretty much, like the movies all over again, but now as a show. Who the fuck is going to watch this instead of just the movies? Read the books. The books were a ton of fun, actually. Satanic as fuck, but they were written well. But they're gonna change race for some of the characters. I don't know how many of them. They already did that in Harry Potter 8, aka The Cursed Child or something. I don't know. I started reading the um, the play, but I never finished it. It's by J. Rowling, Jacqueline, or is it? I don't know what the fuck her real name is. I thought it was Jacqueline Rowling, but anyways, I wasn't all that motivated to read that one. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the style it was written in. It's a play, so it's not written, like a book. Not really. But I remember when that play came out in England, it had some controversy because I think Hermione was played by a black person, a black woman. And of course, people were like, what the fuck? So now Snape is going to be black, of course. Of course. So let me guess. He's going to be super serious, and everybody thinks that, well, he's mean. I think he's evil. But then, around Harry Potter 6 time, you're going to find out that the black man was good all along. No wonder. Of course, you don't want this character to go to a white person. I mean, ew. Commercializing that white people are good. What would Yakub say? Oh, man. Don't get me started on the NOI. I will get to the NOI. Hold on. Let me move on to kinds of kindness. So this one dude directed one of my all-time favorite movies. I think I saw it like 15 years ago, called Dogtooth. It's about a family that keeps their kids locked up at home and tells them that it is not safe to go outside of the yard, to go beyond the yard because of radiation. Only the car can protect you, and you can only leave home when your dog tooth has fallen out. I'm assuming that means your canines. Um, it's such a weird, trippy movie. It's so awesome. It felt like a metaphor for the human situation that we're in, where we're constantly lied to about everything, where we are, what what's really what's really in the map, what should be on the map, what isn't on the map, stuff like that. What's beyond the ice wall? Is there anything beyond the ice wall? Is there an ice wall? Stuff like that. It's one of my favorite movies. The next time I saw one of his movies was with Poor Things, which I thought it was incredibly creative and artistic, but also extremely unnecessarily pornographic. Um, and then I saw The Lobster, which was stupid, disturbing, artistic, poetic, depressing, nihilistic. It was something else. It was something incredible. So I gave a chance to his latest movie called Kinds of Kindness, which I believe is kind of a metaphor for some people not really being who they claim to be. It's an anthology movie. There's 3 stories, and the actors in this film play different characters in all three of the stories in the film. It's very interesting because it feels like some of these characters um, continue from the previous story, and there are certain characters that connect all three stories. It's pretty much the same as the Lobster. It's dark, it's fascinating, it's very well acted, it's very original, it's extremely nihilistic and satanic. I don't know whether I should um recommend this film. It's dark. The people in it, Emma Stone, that one guy Jesse, who's pretty much Matt Damon with a weird looking mask on, who supposedly married to Kirsten Dunst. Willem Dafoe is in it. Um, the daughter of that one lady from Groundhog Day, she's in it. She's naked, and my goodness, she's um, gorgeous. I had no idea how freaking tall she is. She's a giant. But yeah, she's extremely attractive. She should be in everything, pretty much. And Emma Stone is surprisingly an incredible dancer. I mean, there's one scene where she's celebrating and she just starts dancing a ton of original moves. I mean, I was impressed. I wanted more of that. She's a good dancer. It's I don't know, you know. It's I kind of recommend it, but you have to be in the right mental space for it. It's not an everyday film. It's very bizarre. It's up to you. The next movie is Riff Raff, starring. Let's see who's in this movie. Ed Harris, Bill Murray, and that one dude from Saturday Night Live. He used to date Ariana Grande and Kim Kardashian. Anyways, that motherfucker. I want to say Steve-O, but that's not Steve-O, I think. Uh, Pete Davidson. Yeah, there you go. It's it's a dark comedy with a lot of fan service. When I saw the commercial for this movie, Riff Raff, it was a terrible commercial, by the way. It did not make me want to watch this movie whatsoever. It just made me think like, oh, another stupid piece of shit, bleak garbage movie. No, thank you. But I should have known if Bill Murray's going to be in it, it's because it's good. When you watch the film, you're going to enjoy it. It's extremely enjoyable. It just keeps getting better and better. It is actually funny, and it gives you the perfect ending. So I was really, really happy with the way it ended. I thought it was going to go another route, but no, there's a lot of fan service in this movie. It's a great movie. Um, it's not a family movie. There is one sex scene. There's a couple. There's a pregnant couple, and uh, one guy has sex with his pregnant wife. So it doesn't look bad. I mean, There's something about pregnant women. They're very attractive, or most of them. This one was. This one was like, whoa. She's an Italian lady who happened to be actually pregnant. She looked like she was like ready to deliver. So I don't know, 7, 8 months or so. And she showed her breasts, which were amazing. That's got to be fucking weird. So fucking weird. I mean, your actual husband, uh, I would not be okay with something like that. I'm married. I'm just pretending. I'm married to a beautiful woman, and we're gonna have a family, and she's gonna go to work, get naked with some strange guy who's simulating having sex with her. Ah, man, different cultures, I guess. I I don't know. I've been to Italy. They all seem really normal. I didn't ask them like, "Hey, would it be all right if you know?" I don't know. Hollywood is fucked. Riff Raff is a good movie. I highly recommend that one. And then my last two, I saw Black Bag and I saw Sinners. Um, I noticed that The Accountant Part Two is out, but I haven't seen the first one. And I started watching the first movie, and it seems right up my alley. Ben Affleck plays a special person, a different kind of person, so I can relate to that. um, but I've only seen like the first, I don't know, 10 minutes, so I still need to watch more before I even watch the sequel. Sinners. Okay, here's where I'm gonna get into the Yakub stuff. Sinners is a movie starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan. He plays himself. Well, not himself. He plays a character and then he plays that character's brother. So interesting. Um, what's her name? That very pretty girl from Bumblebee, who's also in True Grit, the Coen Brothers movie. Haley? Haley Steinfeld? I'm not sure what her name is, but wow, what a looker. She's in this movie. That alone was probably what motivated me to even give it a chance. Okay, so these two brothers, they start up their own business so they can have, uh, I don't know, like a bar. Um, they started up like in the middle of nowhere. They invite everybody they know. They have a really great time, but they got they have terrible luck because it just so happens that the white devil falls from the sky, which made me think of that it was referencing the Fallen, and starts biting people and turning them into vampires. So it's a vampire horror movie, except the first villain has to be, of course, the white devil. There are no good white people in this movie, except for Miss Steinfeld, because only because they mention, well, they don't say it's because of this, but they do mention that she's half black. They also mention that she is in love with Michael B. Jordan. So, um, it was an incredibly well acted movie. Everyone did an amazing job. The director of photography did an amazing job. Everything looks incredible. It's kind of a period piece movie. It's supposed to be like 100 years ago or so. Um, I it was really enjoyable. Other than the fact that it was more uh, white devil propaganda shit. um, so after these vampires get done killing everybody, and of course Michael B. Jordan kills the ultimate vampire, and they all die at once. There's a standoff between Michael B. Jordan and the Ku Klux Klan, except they're not wearing the robes. They all have guns. He has one gun, but he manages to kill all of them. Uh, he does get shot one time, but not before killing everyone. Which it looked really fucking cool. It just didn't feel that realistic. But it's a movie, so why not? It looked cool. The movie was good, except for that one part. Now, I'm not saying that the white devil doesn't end up turning some of the black people into vampires, so then, they become evil as well. But yeah, I didn't really like that part. But oh well. The interesting stuff was, you know, the fallen, references to the fallen, and it made me think of that passage in the New Testament where Jesus meets a possessed man, and the man says, "My name is Legion, for we are many," which means parasites. You have parasites. It's not just one. There's more evidence that it's parasites. Um, when Jesus was going to remove parasites, they requested, let us go into these pigs. He said, okay. When they went into the pigs, they went into the water, and that's how parasites get around. Dirty liquids. Like, you can watch documentaries on parasites and it'll tell you the exact same thing. They'll usually take the host to drown in water so that they can swim to a new victim. So in this film, obviously, because they're vampires, they're, transferring liquids through blood. But there was also a very strange murder sex scene where one of them sort of puts a lot of saliva into another person's mouth. So, I don't know. Do with that what you will. So, it's a good movie. It's not something I would recommend. It leaves a lot of unanswered questions. I would have preferred something a little more ballsy that would have admitted what vampires really are, which is, I guess, descendants of giants. Especially according to the Book of Enoch. And then finally, I saw Black Bag, with Michael Fassbender and Kate Blankenship or Bland Shit. Boring feces. It's actually a very well done film, and it's kind of impossible to not enjoy that movie. So I would highly recommend Black Bag to anybody. Black Bag, Riff Raff, maybe Kinds of Kindness because it was very good and original, but you got to be in the right mental state of mind for that one. That's not a movie you really want to watch with the family. So maybe not that one. Black Bag, Riff Raff, The Gorge, Working Man, and Flight Risk. And maybe The Brutalist if you want to watch Adrian Brody get raped. It's not a bad film. Everybody in that movie does a great job. Um, but it is a sad movie, so you got to be in the mood for that. As far as TV stuff, I tried watching Fallout. Man, it is garbage. It's you got the 33, the lightning bolt, the leading character in real life. She's a Baphomet Club member. Um, I just can't watch it. I fuck that thing. I saw the first episode of Last of Us season 2 and I thought this is wonderful. I love this. This was done incredibly well. Everyone they got to portray the characters from the video game is perfect. And I had my hopes up thinking they're not going to fuck it up like the video game did. Last of Us Part 2 was so fucking stupid for killing Joel at the beginning of the game. I mean, if you want to kill him, at least save it for the end of the game. No. They thought, oh, we're being ballsy and original. You know how Hitchcock waited to like half the fucking movie to kill Jamie Lee Curtis's mom off in Psycho? Well, we're going to do it right away. That's stupid. That's stupid. I get why he was killed, but it didn't need to happen right there. You didn't add to the video game by doing that. You took away from it. And I don't believe that the show will be any different now that I haven't seen the second episode, but I've already seen clips that confirm that, oh yeah, he's getting killed off right away. I think that's so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. I mean, what's the point? I've already played the video game. I really thought they were gonna do it a little different, at least better. I mean, do you hear the fans fucking saying like that was the right thing to do? No, of course not. So again, I don't think it's about pleasing fans, which is you would think it should be. I think there's something more sinister at play. It's about bothering people. I don't think I'm gonna fucking watch that piece of shit. Fuck that. It's not for me. I already fell for playing the video game and it was shit. I'm not gonna fall for watching the show. Oh, and what I was saying, this will be just the final thing because I'm done with the movie review. Uh, Yaqub, according to the Nation of Islam in America, Yaqub created white people. You can look this up. YAKUB. Google it. I'll tell you straight up from the Wikipedia page what it says. Here's a summary of the original version of Yaqub, the creator of white people, according to the Nation of Islam, which Malcolm X was a member. According to the story at the start of human history, a variety of types of black people inhabited the moon. So, right off the bat, you know it's a fucking lie. When a black god scientist became frustrated that all those on the moon did not speak one language, he blew up the moon. How annoying. They can't all talk the same. Well, that's dumb. A piece of this destroyed moon became the Earth. Okay. Which was then populated by a community of surviving, morally righteous black people, some of whom settled in the city of Mecca. Okay. Yaqub was born a short distance outside the city and was among the third of original black people who were discontented with life in this society. A member of the Meccan branch of the tribe of Shabazz, Yaqub acquired the nickname Big Head because of his unusually large head and arrogance. At the age of 6, he discovered the law of attraction and repulsion by playing with magnets made of steel. He connected this to the rules of human attraction. The unlike people would attract, manipulate the original like people. So he's talking like a stupid child. Unlike people and like people. So the quote unquote unlike people would attract, manipulate the original quote unquote like people. By the age of 18, he had finished his education and had learned everything that Mecca's universities had to teach him. Widely known as a successful scientist, he then discovered that the original black man contained both a black germ and a brown germ. Okay. With the brown being the recessive one, and believed that if he could separate them by grafting, he could graft the brown germ into a white germ. Interesting how out of nowhere he just thought that. You know, it's funny if you tell this story to a stupid person that doesn't know what colors actually are, frequencies, they might just buy it. And, okay, keep going. This insight led to a plan to create a new people who, using tricks and lies, could rule the original black man and destroy them. He attracted a following but caused trouble, leading the Meccan authorities to exile him as his 59,999 followers. Okay. They went to an isle in the Aegean Sea called Pelan, which Elijah Muhammad identified as modern-day Patmos. Yaqub developed Christianity to fool the black people into supporting him and to trick them into not knowing their true history. Once there, he established a despotic regime, starting to breed out the black traits of his followers. This entailed breeding new children, with those who were too dark being killed at birth and their bodies being fed to wild animals or incinerated. Yaqub died at the age of 150, but his followers carried on his work as he passed down his knowledge. After 600 years, the white race was created. So it's not by Yaqub, it's by his followers. After 600 years, the white race was created. All the races other than The black race were byproducts of Yakub's work, as the red, yellow, and brown races were created during the bleaching process, with the red germ coming out of the brown germ, the yellow coming from the red, and from the yellow, the white. Uh-huh. The brutal conditions of their creation determined the evil nature of the new race. By lying to the black mother of the baby, this lie was born into the very nature of the white baby. And murder for the black people was also born in them, or made by nature a liar and murderer. Uh-huh. As a group of people distinct from the original Asiatic race, the white race are bereft of divinity, being intrinsically prone to lying, violence, and brutality. According to the nation's teachings, Yakub's newly created white race sowed discord among the black race, and thus were exiled to live in the caves of Europe, West Asia. In this narrative, it was in Europe that the white race engaged in bestiality and degenerated, losing everything except their language. Huh? They were kept in Europe by guards. Elijah Muhammad also asserted that some of the new white race tried to become black but failed. As a result, they became gorillas and other monkeys. Huh? To help the whites develop, the ruling Allah then sent prophets to them, the first of whom was Musa, Moses, who taught the whites to cook and wear clothes. Moses tried to civilize them, but eventually gave up and blew up 300 of the most troublesome white people with dynamite. I shit you not, it fucking says that. Oh, man. According to the nation, Jesus was also a prophet sent to try and civilize the white race. However, the whites had learned to use tricknology, quote unquote, tricknology. This is not even a fucking word, but okay, tricknology. A plan to use their trickery and lack of empathy and emotion to usurp power and enslave the black population, bringing the first slaves to America. According to the NOI, the NOI, or Nation of Islam, doctrine, Yakub's progeny were destined to rule for 6,000 years before the original black people of the world regained dominance, the end of which was the year 1914. Huh? And there is a Nuwaubian version. Nuwaubian. That is a strange fucking word. An alternative version of the story was told by the Nuwaubian Nation, a black supremacist new religious movement run by Dwight York. This is set out in a roughly 1,700 page book called The Holy Tablets. Jeez. In the Nuwaubian telling of the Yakub myth, 17 million years before the first of many intergalactic battles, 17 million fucking years. Those things are constantly wrong. When they do whatever they do with rocks, trying to tell you how old they are, and they're constantly fucking wrong. But somehow they know 17 million years before the first of many intergalactic battles. Is there any evidence for this bullshit? No, because it's bullshit. The ancestors of black people, given a variety of names, including Rizikians, Riz, were gods. What defines a god? You mean they had a lot and so they called themselves that? Whatever. But subservient to the supreme god. Well, then those gods weren't actual gods then. Whatever. Rizikians lived in another galaxy on a planet known as Rizq. Risk, like the board game, spelled with a Z, which was located in the original Tri-Solar System, which featured a movable throne slash spaceship, Nibiru. Nibiru. Yes, yes. I thought Nibiru was interesting when I was a child. In their telling, the original protective atmospheric layer of this planet, necessary to protect from the UV rays of its three suns, had been destroyed by an evil being who was the leader of the fallen angels, Shaitan. Shaitan had been asked by the supreme god to move either off the planet entirely or to a different location on it. He refused and instead set off, I kid you not, it says this, set off an atomic explosion like an H bomb, destroying part of the atmosphere. Damn, ballsy. The scientists of the planet were able to repair it with gold, but there wasn't enough gold on the planet. Necessitating, I like that word, necessitating, excursions into space on the Nibiru, whatever, to mine gold from planet Earth, where colonies were established. Oh, okay, they already had them here, huh? The Rizkians did not want to mine gold, believing it was beneath their status as angels. Of course. They spliced genes of Homo erectus with their own genomes, producing mankind to do it for them. Humans originally had various psychic abilities, but after wars and Cain and Abel, the gland responsible for these psychic powers was removed by the human brain, from the human brain, by the Rizikians. Right. So the pineal gland that has actual crystallization has nothing to do with this whole psychic shit that you're talking about. These same crystals that can be found on Earth somehow, giants, and are used for that very same thing, except they don't call it a psychic ability. They call it Wi-Fi and cell phone signals. Yeah, they are used in these technologies. Look it up, baby. Okay. Yaqub was born with two brains. The Nuwabian explanation for the size of his large head, making him a genius capable of gene splicing experiments which resulted in white people. After his experiments were finished, one of his brains exploded, resulting in his death. Just randomly, just for no reason. Like, it's funny how he dies, but most people can live with just one brain. Oh, well. So the origins of these stories. The story of Yaqub originated in the writings of Wallace Fard Muhammad, the founder of the Nation of Islam. By the way, Wallace Fard Muhammad is white. I'm looking at his pictures. He is not a black man. He looks Jewish, and he could very well be an Arab. So this guy came up with this bullshit story. Yaqub is, of course, based on Jacob from the book of Genesis. And he uses the story from the book of Genesis when Jacob is trying to leave with his wives and children and take some of the livestock with him, promised to him by his father-in-law, who keeps changing the requirements. He said, "Take only the spotted ones," and then they all turn spotted. And then he says, "Like, no, just take the pure white ones," and then they all turn pure white. So apparently, this fucking story, which was meant to show that Jacob's God was protecting him and punishing his father-in-law, but Wallace Fard Muhammad, which they can't even get his fucking name straight. If you check him out on Wikipedia, it says they have no idea when the hell he died. It says date of place unknown. And that he had other names. His names were Wally Fred Dad, Fred Dodd, Fred the Greek, Fred the Turk, Wally Dodd Fard, Wallace Dodd Ford. Interesting. If he was a Ford, that means he was one of the bad guys. William D. Fard, and Master. Call me Master. Master Fard Muhammad. Yeah. Even his kid changed his name. Children: Wallace Dodd Fard, later Wallace Max Ford. So, what does this mean? Now, the flag of the Nation of Islam has a crescent moon and a star where there should be a moon. Unless the moon is not really there, because it's not physical, and you can see right through it, and you can see that there's a star. Interesting. The guy has a ton of mugshots where you can clearly see his face, and I don't know what the fuck he is. His hair changes. He looks like a Bolshevik. I have no idea. But that was one of the stupidest fucking stories ever. And if this is what they're teaching black people, it's just a story to hate white people, to feel superior to us. It's fucked up. But it's definitely done on purpose. This guy, whoever the fuck he really was, with all those fucking names, he's definitely one of the bad guys. And he's using the old tactic of hitting people in their soft spot, which is their ego. That's always the downfall of people. Go for the ego. Work the ego. Tell them they're so much better than everybody else just for being born, just for existing. It works. Works all the time. Damn. Okay, that's it. Think on that. Do your own research. What do I know? I'm reading a friggin' Wikipedia page. Maybe I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll talk to y'all some other time. Peace. Later. Bye. No, just stay here. Stay here talking because I'm 30 seconds away from hitting 2 hours. And I think yesterday I was almost at 2 hours also. This is silly. We need to part ways. No, you hang up. Okay, bye.